So last weekend I was able to attend the Northwest Winter Wool Festival, which was held in Blackpool at the Imperial Hotel. Remember, if you like crochet, if you like crafting, if you like all those things, please, if you get a chance, to subscribe to the channel. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers this year. So if you get a chance to, please like and subscribe. I want to start off the video by just talking a little bit about mental health. This isn't an ad or anything like that. I just want to talk a little bit about what I've been going through the last sort of month, because I think that it's important to be open and to be honest about these kind of things. A lot of the time when we're brought to crafting, it's usually, well for me, it's a coping mechanism. I'm brought to crafting because I'm going through something and I need to get my mind off what's happening or what's going on. For me, crochet is like meditation. Some people do yoga, some people do meditation. I crochet. The repetitive acts, that's something that I find really helpful, and crochet is so important to me as a coping strategy. Now, the last month I have been really struggling with insomnia, really badly. I've been really struggling to sleep. I've been getting up most nights at 3 a.m, and then I've just been awake, and it's really taken its toll on my mental health. And unfortunately, it's manifested to a point where I've had to take some time for myself, because I'm getting to a point where I can't speak and I'm going into fight or flight mode, and it's resulting in me just bursting out into tears, which is not great. I've had some time now and I'm feeling a lot more like myself again, but it was getting to a point where I wasn't really myself. When me and my friend Liz originally decided to go to this festival, I was fully in the mind that I am going to go to this festival. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm going to talk to all the sellers. I'm going to make an amazing video going through every single stall. And that's not what happened. That isn't what happened. Unfortunately, my anxiety was so bad that I felt like I couldn't really even speak. And it took a while for me to kind of get going. And the day started off quite rocky. Now, luckily for me, one of my big coping things is speaking to my friends and my family. And again, this might not work for you, but what I find really helpful is when I'm just open and honest about what's actually happening. Once I've kind of put it out there and I'm open and saying, this is what I'm actually feeling like, I don't feel like I can do this, I feel like that's when things start to actually go okay, because the people around me are aware of how I'm actually feeling. So when I'm like, I need to bail, I need to go, I feel like they already get it and I don't have to explain myself. So I knew that morning when I woke up, I was really struggling with wanting to leave the house, because that's one way it manifests itself. I get a bit agoraphobic, where I kind of feel this sort of sense of impending doom once I leave this house. All the control and all of the, I can't control my environment, and all the panic starts to swirl, and that's fully the headspace that I was in. So I picked up Liz from the train station and we just talked all the way up to Blackpool and really kind of just spoke about some of the things that have been bothering me recently. And we have this really safe space where we can have this amazing open dialogue. And if you're going through something similar where you feel like you're trapped and you can't feel like you can get your words out, it's so important to try to find that safe space. And whether that be a therapist, I do therapy. I've had a therapist now for, more than 10 years, and it was the best thing that I ever did. So speaking to somebody, 100%. So I just wanted to just jump on here, talk a little bit about that, talk about why I haven't done a full walkthrough, because I think that's really what I wanted to do. But if you want to see a full walkthrough, an amazing YouTuber called Amora has done an amazing walkthrough. She goes through the entire festival. She shows you all the yarns. That's exactly what I wanted to do. And I've been watching Amora's channel for quite a while now. And I was so excited that when I left the festival, just as I was about to get into my car, there she was walking around the corner with her family going to the festival. I was like, oh, this is so exciting. And I kind of walked up and was like, sorry, I'm sorry to bother you, but are you Amora? And she was like, yes. And I was like, oh, your channel's amazing. And she was so kind. She said, do you want to be in one of my videos? And I was like, of course I do. Like, who wouldn't? This is crazy. Yes, obviously. I wasn't expecting her to do this, but she shouted out my channel. and it's helped my channel so much, and genuinely from the bottom of my heart I just want to thank Amora publicly for really helping me. And if you haven't looked at her channel, here's the link to her details, so I'll put that on the video here, but then also the link to her channel is going to be in my notes. What I thought I'd do today is just show you what I got at the festival, and then also what we did afterwards was we drove to Preston. We had to drive through Preston anyway, so we called into Preston, the Abakhan Fabrics there. There's Abakhan Fabrics all over the UK. Obviously I tend to just go to the Liverpool store. I've only ever been to the Liverpool store, but we wanted to go see what the one in Preston was like in comparison and see if they had anything different to the one in town. Let's get into the haul with what we got. Now, I didn't get loads because what we are trying to do this year is we're not trying to buy wool just for the sake of buying wool. I've already got my projects planned, so I need to try to stay on track. Now, one big goal for me this year was I want to learn how to spin wool. So the first room that we went into, we met everybody at the Bowland Guild. These ladies were so cool. Oh my gosh, they were so fab. There was a lady called Steph, she was sat in the corner and she had this spinning wheel, and instantly I was just drawn into that corner. She was so kind to give me her time. She let me sit down. She was showing me how to work the wool. And she even went through a little demo on a drop spindle, because that's what I've been given for Christmas by my husband. He got me a drop spindle with wool. And I've just been a little bit unsure and a little bit kind of, a little bit apprehensive. So seeing her actually using it, watching a video on YouTube is amazing. There's something a lot more different when you're sat in front of somebody and they're actually like spinning and showing you how to work the wool. So it was so lovely, and I was so appreciative of her spending her time with me. There was also a loom on the table as well that we got to have a little go of too. So fab. Both me and Liz are going to be looking at signing up to the Bowland Guild. Really cool. There was a lot of other things in that room as well. I'll put some footage here so you can have a little look. The first stand, I can't remember what the company was, but they had a whole Pokemon thing going on. Really beautiful dyed yarns. They had this amazing macrame section as well, which was super cool. Then we went into the main room, which was in the Lancaster room, and it was absolutely huge. Majority of the sellers were actually in that room. When you first walked in on the left-hand side, there was Janet and Bluebell, and I bought a few different things of Robin. So I got this yellow and this red. I thought that they would look really nice blended together and spun together, because it would also just give like an orangey kind of vibe to it. I thought that would be really cool, really autumnal. And you know your girl, she also got some greens. I got this amazing bottle green and this lovely kind of mossy green, and I thought that they would look even nice. They would look nice put together. I even thought even the flecks of the yellow would look really lovely. So that is what I've got from there. They were £5 each, so that came to £20. Now, on another stall, my friend Liz got my little boy, because he loves whales and he loves sharks. There was amazing. It was a stitch marker of a whale shark. In the morning, he kept asking if he could come with us to the wool festival as soon as he found out that Auntie Liz was coming, because he loves Liz so much. And I just said to him, like, honey, you know, you got to stay at home. You'll find it really boring at the wool festival. He's only little, so I think his intention would definitely wane. He is good as gold, and he does come on our wool expeditions with us. We've been to Abakhan Fabrics with him, where he's basically sat in an aisle just like watching YouTube, taking up massive amounts of space, like lying on the floor. And he's been to a lovely shop in Formby called Amoralovesyarn with us, where he was really little when he came into there with us, and we parked at the pram, and then 2 minutes, we just took our eyes off for 2 seconds, and he pulled an entire like sort of shelf of yarn out and just all on the floor. I've never been so mortified in all my life. Oh my god. She got him this amazing little whale shark stitch marker that he's now got on his zipper, so it's kind of helping him like zip his coat up. It's so cute. And she got herself the same, so it's like their little friendship thing. It's adorable. There was another lady that did this amazing, she had this thing where it was like you can make your own slippers, and you bought all the stuff to make these cool felted slippers, and she had some crochet things as well. It was so fab. Another stall which was really cool was Yarn Unique. So Yarn Unique, she has these amazing dyed skeins, and she has like themes. So like she had like Dracula, or just like Game of Thrones, like that kind of stuff. we bumped into Liz's friend, David. David, I've heard a lot about from Liz, and when when you meet somebody and you're just like, oh, you're a vibe, we're gonna be best friends. That's how I feel about David. Like somebody that you just vibe with instantly. And it turns out that our cats are both called Edie, and they're both named after Edith Bouvier Beale from Grey Gardens. Like what on earth, like actually. So we bumped into him and we had this lovely conversation, and then we saw him later on, about like an hour and a half later, and he had gone to the Yarn Unique and he had a skein of this amazing hand-dyed yarn. One of these for me and one of these for Liz. Isn't that so kind? Like genuinely, it was like one of the kindest things that I've ever had happen. Like genuinely just such a lovely, generous person. By the end of the festival, I actually felt like a giant weight had lifted off my chest. I'd gone round and I kind of like pushing myself out of my boundaries and the way I was feeling. If I hadn't have gone out and done something that day, and I hadn't gone out and spoken to people and really pushed myself, I probably would have just sat in the house and probably would have been in the same headspace. And since I've been to that festival, I've actually started feeling a heck of a lot better. So wool fixes a lot of things, but I think the main thing was creating a safe environment to speak to my friend, creating a safe environment to go push myself to go out of my comfort zone of where I was in a safe way. Because I know for a fact that if I'd have got to the door and said, I can't do this, I can't go in, I can't speak, and Liz would have just held my hand and she would have walked back to the car with me and we wouldn't have had to go. So again, it's that safe environment and that safe space. I think I just needed to take some time. I think sometimes just things just get a bit too much. I'm really, really lucky that I've had that safe space to be able to deal with that. And now I can kind of get back to just getting back to normal again. We spent about 2 hours at the festival because it was so busy. We looked at everything, and I love the fact that with Liz, I think both of our limits usually end at the same place. We're both kind of like, I need a coffee. Do you need a coffee? Yeah, I need a coffee. So we drove to a Starbucks and we went and had a lovely Starbucks together and just chatted. And then we went to Abakhan Fabrics in Preston. So this is like pretty much like, I think it would class as like the centre of Preston. It's next to like a pound stretcher. It's kind of like not what I imagined, because our Abakhan Fabrics is up on London Road. It's kind of like just outside of town. It's in this giant building and it's like quite big. It's like an old-fashioned kind of like what you imagine an old-fashioned department store to kind of feel like. That's what it feels like. Where this one is kind of like almost kind of like, you know, like those like warehouse kind of shops, you know, when you go to like a retail park. Like it had that kind of vibe to it. You walked in and everywhere downstairs was all your fabrics. The staff was so helpful, so friendly. If you need any questions answering, they were just very, very like nice to speak to. There was one lady that cut our fabric for us. She had lovely sort of long hair. She had a really nice necklace on and a dress. And she was so helpful with like helping us cut the fabric. So the fabrics that I bought, because I don't normally tend to buy fabrics, but Liz has been making her own clothes recently. And this is one of the problems when you have a friend who is as crafty as you. I would even go as far as saying craftier. She's making her own clothes at the moment and it's infectious being around her. She's very infectious. I taught her to crochet and I gave her that sickness, and now I think she's starting to do the same thing with the sewing with me. So one fabric that I found, actually what Liz found, was this. She was holding this fabric and she was like, this is so nice. I don't know. And I was like, if you don't get it, I am going to buy it. And she was like, you can buy it. So I got this. And I thought it'd be really lovely to make a bag. And when you open the bag, like, this is what you see. It's so pretty. And I just love the colour yellow. I think, again, it's very autumnal. You've got your cosmic kind of vibes. I feel like it's giving, like, 90s whimsy goth. Like, that's the vibe. I also got some tapestry fabric as well. I got this and this. Ooh, they're falling apart. This and this. These were £6 for a metre, and I think they're 1.5 meters wide. And I'm thinking about making some like really nice tote bags with different like divider pockets. I've been looking at different tutorials online, and I just love the idea of having like a tapestry bag. I used to have like a travel bag in a lovely tapestry fabric that was similar to this, and I literally used it till it fell apart. It was so fab, and it came with a matching makeup bag. I got it in the charity shop for like £4. I was like, oh my gosh. And I used it for like 15 years until like the handle snapped off and like the zip broke. I was even using it when the zip was broke. I just wouldn't close the bag. I just loved it so much. Now, the wool that David gave me, this amazing wool, I want to make a jumper out of this. So what I'm thinking, because I can't afford, unfortunately, to buy a whole jumper's worth of this, what I've done is I've gone for a cheaper yarn, and I'm going to use this to do the striping. So I'm thinking of doing like working in a yoke, so from the top down, and I bought this bonus DK in bright purple. So what I thought I'd do is do a black collar or a navy collar, then attach this, and then when I get to like here, start using this to do like 1-inch stripes. And then I would do the same on like the arms as well, and do like a little stripe moment, a little stripe moment, maybe like 1/2-inch stripes. So like kind of maybe doing like, I don't know, like a row of this in a double, and then a row of that, and then a row of this, and then a row of that, and then a row of this, and a row of that. That's what I'm thinking anyway. That's my plan. That's where my head's at with that. So I bought 4 of these, so I want to make sure that I've got enough. Another thing that I bought at Abakhan's was the Hayfield Bonus Aran in bottle green. Now, I've been planning a project to make a fleece. I call it a fleece. It's not actually a fleece. It's really like a 3/4 zip jumper. So it's like a polar neck jumper, but with a zipper, so you can like leave it open. You wear them when you're hiking and stuff. You know what I'm on about. You know what I'm on about. There's like a whole revival at the moment of having like these like really like mad like 90s kind of like 3/4 zip kind of jumpers. I want to crochet one of those. Now for Christmas, I got 3 balls of this golden green cedar jewel spun. I absolutely love this, and they had a panel of this worked up in Abakhan's. Now, my vision for it was the body will be in the jewel spun and the arms will be in the jewel spun, but the chest and like the back and like the collar, they're going to be in a different colour, so you have that contrast. Now, originally I was going to use this, which is the Aldi Bonus DK in khaki. Look at those together. They go. They look lovely. But look at that. That is exactly the vibe that I wanted. That is so much bolder. I think the conversations between those different colours are a lot stronger. When you compare it to this, it wishy-washies it out. You can see which one looks better. And it's the bottle green, 100%. Now, unfortunately, they only had 1 skein of this. So I bought it. I'm going to start working it up, and I'm going to have to do an order. Now, I need to do an order from Cedar anyway, because I'm doing my temperature blanket and I've ran out of 2 colours. So I'm going to order some of that anyway. So that is what I got from Abakhan's. That is what I got from the Wool Festival. I had such an amazing day, and it was so amazing bumping into Amora as well. Bumping into Amora was probably one of the highlights of the trip. It was so cool bumping into her. And again, I just want to say a really big thank you to her being kind enough to share my channel, to share my details. It's really helped my channel grow. So really big thank you to Amora. Make sure you check her channel out. Remember, if you like crochet, if you like crafting, if you like all of those things, I upload every single Sunday. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers this year. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.